Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're still following up with our segments, and as we know that Egypt celebrates this month both victories, the 6th of October victory and the Teachers' Day, that mean that knowledge, courage, not just began in the battlefields only, but also in the classrooms. And to shed more light on this topic, I'm so delighted to be accompanied here with Dr. Ibrahim Tahyawy, the educational expert. Good evening, Doctor. Of course, we know that education is a very important thing in the human lives when it comes to primary, when it comes to different stages of education, of course. But we can implement what in such stages that can really be such victory also as the October victories?
I can't forget from the time our parents, our teachers used to tell us what happened during the 73 6th October War, and all the people at the time used to sit at the cafe in the streets, at their homes, listening to the radio. So all the nation, all the Egyptians were interested what happened, what's going to happen. So this is a very, very important message. Okay, the unity. We were one nation, one citizen, one heart. Okay, so at the time, in fact, I'd like to send again my message to the Minister of Education, Mr. Mohammed Al Latif, because it's due time to publish a book called The Secrets of October War, to be taught to primary stage especially. Why primary stage? Because this generation is like the white sheet of paper. When you write, when you curve, okay, everything will be distinct. Okay, it's very, very important to know the secrets of October War, to tell them and to teach them in all the schools, whatever the schools, or whatever governmental, experimental, or private sector, or even international schools. It's due time to teach them what happened from President Anwar Sadat, from Marshal Abdel Ghani Gamasi, whom I talked about. His village is El Betanoun, for example, in Menoufe Governorate. So I'm lucky because I am from Menoufe Governorate, and to teach them some and give them some information about those great people who suffered, who challenged themselves, and to give them the model, because we lack the model sometimes, and the new generation lacks the model. It's very, very important to give the new generation, the new students. Yeah, and according to the word hero, in fact, I found many schools, okay, asked their students, primary or primacy, especially primary stage. I found them in the street. I found them on many schools who is wearing the uniform of a soldier, who is wearing a uniform of a policeman or a police officer or army officer. Here I appreciate the efforts of these kind of schools, because they give the model. Yeah, they give the model to the new generation, and especially when they salute the flag. And many days before, some schools asked the students to draw the flag, and told them what is the secret behind the colors, or three colors of the flag. For example, I found some teachers gave them some information about the red. Why red? Because it's represented blood, for example, or sacrifice. Why black? The agony days, okay, we spent before this victory day, which is October or 6th of October day. Why? Because it represents peace, and so on. So there are many important messages of October War, and I can't forget the many generals. I appreciate here some schools, departments, or some principals or managers who ask some generals of October War to come to the school and to give them some kind of lectures, to tell them that we did so and so and so and so. And by the way, I can't forget one of generals, okay, in our schools. He was talking about a secret for the first time for me. Okay, although I am old generation, so what about the new generation? He was talking about Kabrit, for example, battle, and he told us that it was before October War. Its aim was to attract the enemy, Israeli enemy, to us, okay, to take them to another way. And he while he was talking, you can't imagine that it was a great sacrifice, because they were walking on what exploded area. And he was telling us in front of the students that while walking, I was walking on sand, but I am sure that I may be exploded at a sudden. Can you imagine? So I was following my leader step by step, and this was before the war. hours, exactly 2 hours or 3 hours before October War, which was exactly at 2 o'clock. And here we have to talk about the planning or strategic plan, how the President Anwar Sadat made some tricky strategic plan before the war itself. For example, he performed Umrah, for example, and he traveled to KSA. Yes, that's right. This is another important message. If you want to do something, you have to plan, you have to put a strategic plan, okay? You have to think out box. It's very, very important. You have to have some principles, some criterias. You have to in teamwork. To work as a teamwork is very, very important. To work as a teamwork, and here the message of respectation. The president himself, Anwar Sadat, when he visited his soldiers before the war itself, and he talked with them as a brother, not as a president. And here we have many videos. Okay, we share from time to time on Instagram, on Facebook, on social media. It represents to us how the president himself, Anwar Sadat, used to deal with his soldiers. They call them all, they are all our sons, okay, because he was a leader. Actually, we can say that he was a man of peace and war, Anwar Sadat, and up till now, all the historic or historians write about the secrets of the charisma of that leader, Anwar Sadat. Up till now, it's still taught in some universities in America, on European countries, okay, or European universities, the charisma and the character of Anwar Sadat, okay. Although he was a countryman, coming from the country, coming from the village, but he used to talk English. He was his English, for example, Anwar Sadat. Many days before, I was listening to a video while he was talking about some secrets of his life, and how he some traditions in the village of Mita Bilkom, for example. And here I'd like to say Mita Bilkom because some children, new generation, don't know the village of Anwar Sadat, Mita Bilkom, Menofia. So he was brought in this village because here we have to send the principle of our leaders. How did they live? How were they brought up? And to talk about their life, how were they brought? Were they rich? Were they poor? What about their education and so on? Yes.
Well, so I think that very educational, and of course implementing this and telling stories where the children loves and everyone loves to hear some stories about that, and it's also implementing very it's implementing treasures,
Yes,
let's
of
say,
course.
of course, in
Yeah,
our
yeah,
generation.
yes.
Dr. Ibrahim, you know, we are running out of time, and I'm so sorry, but of course this won't be the last interview.
I'm
I
very grateful.
enjoy your
I'm
company
very
each
grateful.
time.
Thank you.
It is very informative. I'd like to thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your
Many
time.
thanks. Many thanks.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you.
was Dr. Ibrahim Tahyawy, the educational expert. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and we'll be back.